So hello ladies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to come on and talk to you about two things. Number one, we have a little case study that we're going to do today. So let's just kind of look at today as though it'll be girl talk mixed in with like how I have kind of helped myself over the years to avoid any slip ups as it relates to like deep self-care issues. I saw a girl, I guess it's been about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. We were at the gas station and this girl got out of her car. And when she got out of her car, she was literally in like a really pretty blue, like sky blue robe. She was in a sky blue silk robe with flowers. And it was a beautiful robe, right? But we were at a gas station. And this is literally not a lie, right? And you guys know that I'm really big on, every woman has the right to present herself in public however she wants to. All of us are free, so this is not a conversation about just condemning her or anything like that. But a lot of you who follow me are in a place where you are wanting to elevate your life, you're wanting to elevate your self-care, and you're wanting to just get to your next level in life. And the truth of the matter is, no matter how you spin it, we really still live in a world whereby if you choose to show up at a gas station in your robe, underneath her robe she had like some those boy shorts again that we kind of often see now. They were like the little shorts you can wear to bed, and she had a tank top on. Now mind you, this was November and I don't live anywhere where it's warm or hot, and we weren't anywhere where it was warm and hot, so it was actually still cold outside. And more than anything, I think the situation kind of like disturbed me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, no, like we're not out here doing that, are we, ladies? And it's not that my heart breaks, because she's a grown woman. And so there has to be a point where we hold each other accountable as grown women, whereby if you're deciding to do something, that is your choice. I see you as capable. If you don't have any mental health, and I mean severe mental health, not kind of the discussion we have about mental health now can sometimes be, I don't know if it's like diagnosed intellectual disabilities. I'm speaking on that level. If you don't have a diagnosed intellectual disability, I have no clue why in the world, even with certain mental or emotional health issues, you would walk outside in the cold in a robe, some shorts, and a tank top, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And so one of the things that kind of in the girl talk, that's the case study, right? And so I want you guys below to tell me, what are some of the things that this particular woman possibly could have done to really elevate our perception of her in the world, right? Like when you come outside presented like that, we actually are like, it's something wrong with you. But the girl was on the phone, she was getting her gas, like she did not present as though she had any like really disturbing issues about herself. And so when I see you behaving as though you have a certain level of understanding about life, you're able to have a conversation with someone on the phone, you're able to pump your own gas, you're able to drive to the gas station. So she was driving her own car. Then we have no like choice but to think that you are intentionally moving in this direction as a woman and presenting yourself in this way to the world like that, right? And so one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and film this particular video today is because I'm actually in a more dressed down, sporty, like I'm in dress down sporty attire right now. I'm really in a very comfortable zone, right? I have on a cute sweatshirt that has like a message on it. I have on my sweatpants, and I have on a really nice pair of red Nikes. And I just, some cute little earrings, right? My hair is not crazy done. I've been working out, so it's a little sweaty. It's a little cold outside, so you have the mist also. So I'm not in like my dolled up, glamorous Lyndosha energy that you guys may be used to me being in. But I'm still presenting myself to the world as though I actually care about myself. And so that's how we're kind of going to merge into the self-care discussion, is because I really do consider myself to be a self-care queen. What does that mean? It means that I've been practicing certain fundamental principles in health, in self-care, since I was really a teenager and a kid. Certain things my mom just taught me, and then over the years I have elevated, my self-care routine to the place now where it's like I'm regularly going on spa weekends. I do yoga practices often. I meditate probably 2 to 3 times a day, at least 20 minutes. If I can't do 2 to 3 times a day because my schedule doesn't allot it, I try to at least get one 30-minute session in a day. I'm doing inner work almost every day, right? Affirmations and prompts. You guys know that I'm the queen of that. And when you coach with me individually, we have all of those particular practices that we put into your life as well, because a large part of your self-care is managing your mental health and your emotional health. As you are elevating and growing in life, you have to keep your mindset at a certain level. And so I really, at this stage of my life, do consider myself to be a self-care queen. And I believe that there is an inner self-care queen in all of us, right? But in order to reveal her, we have to make sure that we're taking off all of these layers that were put on us. So the first thing I would say as a self-care queen, to my sister, right, with the most love that I can muster up. But the very first principle in your self-care, in my opinion, is be appropriate for, consider your attire and consider what you're doing throughout the day, right? I want you to start analyzing whether or not your attire is appropriate for the things that you're doing. So her attire was absolutely appropriate for maybe being in her home, if that's her standard for how she's going to look in her home. It was absolutely appropriate for that venue, right? But when you decided you were going to step out in public, and let's say you were only going to get gas, and that's all she was going to do. But the moment you step outside, well, now you have a community of people who are expecting you to, have a certain level of decency about yourself if you don't have a mental or emotional health issue, or you're not strung out on drugs or something, right? And I say, I feel like there's this place in America where we can bring the conversation of shame back into our discussion. I think we've gone a little bit too left, where we're not shaming someone, but I do think that there is a place for you to have a certain level of shame, especially as a woman, that when you mature, and this was a grown woman, right? She looked to be about in her 40s, actually, if I had to guess the lady's age. There should be a certain level of appropriateness. By the time you've been on the earth for 40 years, there should be a certain level of appropriateness that you want to present yourself to as in the world, right? I may not be saying it. I'm trying to keep my words together, because I never want to unleash on a woman, but I want to get my point across. If you've been on the earth for 40 years, you know what's expected of you and what's not expected of you in certain venues. And it is extremely discouraging to be at that age and have younger girls look up to you and say, well, my auntie walks out the house in her robe to go to the grocery store. To me, it doesn't even make any sense, right? And when it comes to what you're going to receive in life, right? You receive, yes, we pray to God, we talk to God, but you receive practically on the earth from people. I wouldn't entrust that woman with anything significant or with anything that I cherish, right? If I were a man and I were looking for a wife, I wouldn't trust her to have my children. I wouldn't trust her with my bank accounts, to be around my money. I wouldn't trust her with my friends, right? I wouldn't trust her judgment. If by the time you're almost 40 or in your 40s, you don't know how to go outside and put on some attire, even if you're in your most sporty, cozy. I'm super cozy, I'm super sporty, but I'm also super presentable for going out into the world, right? if you don't know that by the time that you're 40, there's really not much that you can expect from a husband. There's not much that you can expect from an employer or anyone who is producing life at a higher level, right? Because I talk about elevating, I talk about growing, I talk about getting to your next level, right? That is a woman that society is going to look at and say, okay, well, we really can't do much with her, just kind of toss her off to the side. Because at the end of the day, that's your choice, right? So one of the first things you want to do as it relates to your self-care is you want to make sure that you are appropriate for what you're dressed appropriate for the activities that you're going to be doing for that day. That's the first thing I say. The second thing that we could have done with sis in terms of elevating her look, elevating how she would present herself in the world, is that let's say when she was going out, she took off the robe and she put on the pants, right? She just put on a pair of yoga pants. She already had, I would have looked a little bit, I think she had on a tank top underneath. It was tank top and shorts. But let's say she had the tank top on and the yoga pants. I still would have thought, okay, it's chilly, sis. But we would have given her, like, okay, maybe she left her coat in the car, right? People would have given you the benefit of the doubt. So the second thing that you want to do is you want to really look at, is something going on inside of my heart and inside of my emotions that has me showing up in the world in this way? What do I mean? By the time that you are a grown woman, you need to be able to analyze yourself and really see what areas of your life need personal improvement, and then begin to take your energy away from other areas that are not producing great results in your life and put it to those areas and to those activities that are going to begin to put you in a different place, right? Especially if that's what you want. It's almost like you have to be an entrepreneur of your energy, right? You have to be an entrepreneur of your energy, taking energy from the thing that's not working and putting it towards the thing you want to work and towards the things that are working better. I think this particular woman, rather than being on the phone with her friend, she could have taken the energy of talking on the phone with her friend and put a bit more effort into making sure that she was presentable to the world. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I would say is, I know this is maybe a weird connection, but I would also assess what was going on with her finances. Why? The way that she was presenting herself, sis presented herself as though, number one, she didn't care about herself. So number two, the thing that I would be led to believe is she probably didn't care about her money either, right? Meaning the image that she was giving off in the world is that she probably wasn't a great steward of her resources, her financial resources that God had given her. And one of the things as a grown woman, when you're on your elevation journey, money is important. It's very important to have the amounts of money set aside, whether you have it even in your credit cards, if you have it in cash in your savings accounts, your investment accounts. I am a fan of cash. I love cash. I also, if you love cash, more than likely you have a lot of good credit, especially also if you have built your cash with a business that is legal, right? You typically have also really good credit with that because you managed your credit well in order to produce at those high levels when it comes to cash. And you have also identified areas that are performing very high in terms of cash flow. So the banks have no problem with giving you money so long as you are a steward of it and you pay it off. So I don't really care where you have the money stacked up, but when you show up in the world like that, we are also assuming that you are probably in a certain level of deficit with your money. And as a woman, the three main areas that we start with when you coach with me in assessing your life and assessing whether or not your foundation is strong and how to elevate based upon the goals that you have is we start with your self-care, your mental, your emotional, and your physical health. We start with your money, your financial health, and we also start with your dating life or your marriage life. How healthy is your romantic relationship? Those are three of the key areas that I've seen foundationally. When you see a woman thrive, those three areas are typically really, really solid. And that's even if she's single. So let's say you're not in a relationship with a man, but you have a very healthy romantic experience with life, right? It's almost like you're romancing life. And so I just wanted to come on. That was the case study. It was hard because I saw that at the gas station, and then I was at Target this week and I saw another girl come in almost the same, except for she didn't have a robe on. She had on just her little boy shorts and a coat and a tank top, and then like some Uggs or something. And so I'm really hoping that as women, we can, you know, continue to consider how we're presenting ourselves in the world. And always remember to elevate. If you guys are looking to coach, if you're like, Lyndosha, I love your spirit, I hear you, I hear your heart, you're not trying to condemn us, you actually are wanting us to get to that next level, you guys reach out to me to talk about my coaching packages. I would love to have you. And then also, we are launching my online school in January, so be on the lookout with that. There will be new courses. The baseline courses will be around the $300 to $500 mark. So for those of you who have been looking for a more affordable way to coach and work with me, those courses will be there, and I will be showing up in those courses. I think there are 6 new courses that are launching in January. I will be showing up in those courses in 2023, and I cannot wait to like connect with you guys deeper, and also to hear you guys like speak back to me. So comment below, tell me where you're from, introduce yourself, your name if you want to put your name out here in these internet streets, but where you're from, and also what are your self-care goals for 2023, and let's elevate. Okay, love y'all. Bye bye.